So here's the punchline for my entire talk, and the one key takeaway, which is that speed directly translates to revenue. This is true in general, right? On web pages as well. So for example, when you go to a website, if it doesn't load, chances are you're going to bounce. For ads, it's true because publishers lose impressions when ads are slow. And for advertisers, it ends up driving lower click-through rates and viewability, because the chances are you're not going to be able to click on an ad that you don't actually view. Story ads to help publishers monetize story. Affiliate links to help publishers monetize their outgoing links. And finally, sponsor stories for advertisers and publishers to be able to tell rich, beautiful, immersive storytelling experiences. And you can find all about all of this and more at amp.dev/stories.
Now, it is of no surprise that browser vendors have started responding with certain restrictions around third-party cookies. Unfortunately, without reliable metrics, it is hard to set the direction for the business. And that is why we launched AMP Linker last year. It is a framework that keeps sessions in sync. So if you own A.com and B.com, you can actually keep those things in sync. Now, what's more, this actually works great with AMP Cache and Origin. Google Analytics and Segment already supports this today. The details are super easy, and the link is also super easy. It's bit.ly/amplinker. I love data if you have not figured it out by now. But there is one thing that I do not really like, and that is noise, the spam. Spam comes in a lot of different flavors. Some of them are okay. Some of them are actually malicious. Protecting your site against these unwanted visitors is something that reCAPTCHA excels in. And now, with reCAPTCHA version 3, there are no more friction between when your users are actually trying to accomplish something on your site. And I'm happy to announce today that AMP has full support for reCAPTCHA version 3. reCAPTCHA input is easy to use. It integrates directly into your form elements. And reCAPTCHA version 3 gives you a score, and that then you can use to take appropriate action. I showed you a bunch of things today. Here's a quick recap. AMP Readiness is a Chrome extension that I showed you that helps you quickly get started with AMP Analytics. There is copy-pastable snippets so that you don't have to worry about typos. AMP Tag Test is a way to automate ID testing. You don't have to play around and fiddle around with Chrome dev tools. We've done the heavy lifting for you. AMP Insights is a great way to get started with reporting in AMP Analytics. We are leaning onto the years of experience at Google in building out this dashboard template so that you can bring your data and see the results without having to worry about what custom dimensions need to be set, what custom reports need to be set, and things like that. So I've talked a lot about looking at data, getting insights, but I've conveniently avoided one point. How do we even generate this data? AMP has long supported A/B testing through the component called AMP Experiment. But it has required developers to build the site with A/B testing in mind. But you have told us that that is not how companies operate. You have a base page, and someone comes along and says, you know what, I need to experiment on certain things. In fact, developer teams build the page, and then there is a separate team. Some call it marketing, some call it SEO, some call it growth. They come on top of it and then start experimenting. So we figured that we could do a lot more work here. And most of these times, these teams rely on a third-party A/B testing vendor to run these experiments, look at the results, and do other things. I'm happy to announce today that we are working with Optimizely and Oracle Maximizer to bring true A/B testing to AMP pages. In the updated version, the component integrates seamlessly with your choice of A/B testing vendor. Your teams can retain the same workflow, and you know that they are AMP pages because there is no impact to performance.